If you've been following Jimin's journey with LADOR, you already know that every single time he steps in front of a camera for this brand, something extraordinary happens. But today, June 22nd, 2026 is different. Today, LADOR didn't just release a campaign video. They released a statement. And if you haven't seen what dropped today yet, you need to stay right here, because this video is going to break down everything. The full campaign, the new products, the numbers that prove why this collaboration is rewriting beauty industry rules, and exactly why Jimin's relationship with LADOR is now one of the most powerful artist-brand partnerships in K-pop history. This is not a drill. This is real, and it's happening right now. So before you scroll past, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because content like this is exactly why you don't want to miss a single upload from this channel. Let's go back to where this all started, because context matters. In December 2025, LADOR, a premium Korean haircare brand under JP Professional, founded in Seoul in 2007 and known for its salon-quality products, quietly dropped a teaser on their social media. A foggy glass panel, a silhouette behind it, a single droplet sliding down the surface, just barely revealing the outline of a person. That was it. No name, no announcement, no official confirmation. And yet within hours, fans had flooded the comments. The post became the most viewed, most liked, and most commented upload in LADOR's entire history on X, before they had even confirmed who was in the teaser. Why? Because that silhouette belonged to ParkJimin of BTS. And the moment ARMY suspected it was him, they did what ARMY always does. They showed up in full force. Products that weren't even officially linked to Jimin sold out on LADOR's website within hours of the teaser going live. Just from a foggy silhouette. Not a face. Not a name. A shadow. That is the power this man carries. By December 10th, 2025, it was confirmed. ParkJimin was officially named LADOR's global ambassador, making him the brand's first ever global face, and one of the very few artists in K-pop to represent a major Korean beauty brand at the worldwide level. Marie Claire Korea covered the announcement and reported that LADOR chose Jimin specifically because his diverse charms and positive energy carry a message that resonates across borders. The brand didn't want a regional spokesperson. They wanted someone whose presence could reach every corner of the world simultaneously. And they chose Jimin. If you're watching this for the first time and you haven't subscribed yet, now is a great moment. We cover Jimin's milestones, brand collaborations, and global impact consistently, and trust us, you do not want to be late to these conversations. Now here's where things started to get interesting. On December 15th, 2025, LADOR released their first official campaign video featuring Jimin for the perfume hair osmanthus oil. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Less than 1 hour after that video went live on the Olive Young site, the LADOR perfume hair osmanthus oil sold out, completely, on both Olive Young Global and Olive Young Korea. Minutes, not hours. Minutes. Popcore on X reported it in real time, and ARMY flooded timelines with disbelief. One fan wrote, "It hasn't even been officially announced yet, and it's already sold out. How are people who only hear about it after the announcement supposed to buy it in time?" Jimin's effect is insane, and that was before the full rollout had even begun. Before the photo books. Before the outdoor billboards in Seongsu, Seoul, which went up showing Jimin with blonde hair in a loose white suit. The phrase "LADOR with Jimin" bold across the print. Before any of the major promotional push had kicked in. A sold-out product from a silhouette and a single campaign video. That is what we are dealing with. January 2026 brought another wave of Jimin x LADOR content. On January 7th, LADOR and Jimin shared a new campaign image, Jimin in a simple, creamy white suit with accessories, effortlessly beautiful, radiating the brand identity that LADOR had been building toward. ARMY described the image as ethereal. Outlets like Music Mundial called it angelic. And it was setting the stage for what was coming next. On January 27th, LADOR dropped their next major announcement. A new fragrance called Angel Muguet, the first perfumed hair oil ever developed with Jimin as the direct muse. The name itself felt inevitable. Angel, a word that has followed Jimin throughout his career, from his contribution to the Fast X soundtrack to the way fans have always described his presence on stage. And Muguet, Lily of the Valley in French, a delicate, clean, intimate floral scent, soft and lasting. The campaign visual showed Jimin in a powder blue sweater, surrounded by lily-of-the-valley flowers and bubbles. His aura angelic and ethereal in a way that felt completely on brand. Koreaboo captured the fan reaction perfectly. People weren't just excited for the product. They were moved by how deeply the concept reflected who Jimin is as a person and as an artist. If you want to keep up with every Jimin collaboration breakdown like this one, this channel is the place to be. Subscribe now and join the ARMY community we've built here together. The Angel Muget Perfume Hair Oil officially launched February 1st, 2026, as an Olive Young exclusive. Later packaged it with a free 10 ml mini oil, a later Jimin mini photo book, and a Muget-shaped bag charm, and the product sold out completely on the day of its release. Not just in Korea, globally, fans from across Asia, Europe, and the Americas were reporting that the item had disappeared from shelves and the online store before they even had a chance to add it to their cart. Reviews from fans who managed to secure a bottle described the scent as stunning, soft, fresh, and floral, with that delicate feeling of a flower blooming after a summer rain in the early morning. One reviewer wrote simply, "Jimin inspired me to purchase this, and it truly exceeded my expectations." That sentence, in many ways, describes the entire arc of this partnership. Because what Jimin brings to LADOR is not just visibility. It is trust. When Jimin's name is attached to something, fans believe in it. And that belief translates directly into purchase decisions, into loyalty, and into the kind of word of mouth that no advertising budget in the world can buy. The numbers confirmed everything. LADOR officially reported that sales of the perfume hair oil Angel Muget campaign line had increased by approximately 500% since the collaboration with Jimin began. 500%. This product line also achieved the #1 ranking in the entire category on both domestic Olive Young and the global Olive Young online mall, in the shortest time ever recorded for any product on the platform. These are not small claims. These are industry-defining results. And for a brand that had built its reputation over nearly 2 decades on salon-quality formulations and scientific credibility, the Jimin partnership didn't dilute that identity, it amplified it. LADOR became the brand that ParkJimin chose. And in the K-beauty world, that means everything. Don't forget to like this video if you're learning something new. It helps more ARMY find this content. And that's exactly what this community deserves. Then came June 20th, 2026. LADOR dropped a teaser for something new. A campaign video for the perfume hair treatment, the first time the Angel Muget scent was being extended beyond the original hair oil. The teaser opened with a shot of Jimin from behind. Then a single line of text on screen. "Tok tak, what does the flowing clock signify?" And then Jimin turned. Slowly, between 2 pendulums swinging left and right, their movement rhythmic and almost hypnotic, he turned his body and his head toward the camera. The atmosphere was cinematic, mysterious, completely intentional, and ARMY immediately understood that this was not just a teaser for a product. This was the opening frame of something much bigger that was about to be revealed. The teaser went viral before most people had even finished their morning scroll. Fans were dissecting every second, the pendulums, the timing, the phrase about the flowing clock, the way Jimin's movement was calibrated to feel almost like choreography without being a performance. Everything about it was deliberate. Everything about it was Jimin. And today, June 22nd, 2026, the full video dropped. LADOR released the complete Angel Muget campaign video for the perfume hair treatment across all of their official social media channels simultaneously. And simultaneously with that drop, they made a second major announcement. The Angel Muget line, which began as a single hair oil in February, has now officially expanded. A new perfume hair shampoo and a new perfume hair treatment are being introduced, both under the Angel Muget name, both starring Jimin as global ambassador, and both available for the first time through a pre-launch exclusive at Olive Young. This is the expansion moment. This is what the entire February launch was building toward. LADOR didn't just create a product with Jimin, they created a line. A complete hair care routine bearing the scent and the image of one of the most recognized and beloved artists in the world. And they chose today to unveil all of it together, the full video and the product expansion, in a single, coordinated release that is already sending ripples through the K-beauty community. If you've been holding off on subscribing, let this be the moment. This is the kind of breakdown content we deliver consistently, and we want you in this community for every drop, every reveal, and every record that Jimin breaks. What makes this expansion so significant is the trajectory it represents. When Jimin was first announced as LADOR's global ambassador in December 2025, the brand described the partnership as the beginning of a new era for their brand identity, rooted in what they called identity, modern beauty, and self-expression. Those are not words you put on a press release for a single product. Those are words you use when you are building a world around a person. And that is exactly what LADOR has been doing. From the osmanthus oil to the angel muget oil to today's expansion into shampoo and treatment, every step of this collaboration has been intentional, layered, and pointed toward a larger vision. Jimin isn't just the face of a campaign. He is the creative anchor of an entire product philosophy. The angel muget scent, designed to be soft, clean, intimate, and lasting, is described by LADOR as a fragrance that harmonizes with customers' lifestyles. And who better to embody that idea than an artist who has always made intimacy and emotional depth the center of his artistry? Think about what Jimin represents in the context of beauty and personal identity. His solo discography, from the raw vulnerability of Face to the emotional complexity of Muse, has always been about authenticity, about showing up fully, about refusing to perform a version of yourself that doesn't reflect who you actually are. That philosophy maps directly onto what LADOR is trying to say with the Angel Muget line. This isn't hair care that promises transformation into something you're not. It's hair care that promises to enhance who you already are, with a scent that feels personal, a finish that feels natural, and a routine that feels like yours. When Jimin stands between those two pendulums in today's video, the message isn't just visual. It's a statement about balance, about moving with intention, about finding your own rhythm in a world that is always swinging in two directions at once. And that message lands deeply, because it comes from someone whose entire career has been defined by exactly that kind of purposeful, intentional presence. Now here is what you should know about the products themselves, because these are real, functional products with real results, and ARMY who have used them have been vocal about the quality. The perfume hair oil, the original Angel Muget product, is an 80 milliliters lightweight nourishing oil designed for all hair types. It moisturizes, adds shine, and delivers a long-lasting fragrance without heaviness or greasiness. Reviewers consistently describe it as silky, non-sticky, and suitable for daily use. The scent itself, Lily of the Valley with a soft, floral, clean finish, has been called stunning and intimate by fans who purchased it on launch day. The new shampoo and treatment products, now launching through all of Young's exclusive pre-launch, extend that same Angel Muget fragrance experience into a complete routine. LADOR has built their entire perfume hair line around the idea that your hair can carry a signature scent, one that is as personal and lasting as a perfume, and the Angel Muget expansion with Jimin takes that idea to its fullest expression yet. Let's also talk about what today's campaign video itself communicates on a visual and artistic level, because it deserves that conversation. The pendulum concept that opened the teaser 2 days ago and now anchors the full video is not accidental. Pendulums are instruments of time, measuring it, dividing it, keeping rhythm across it. The phrase "tok-tak, what does the flowing clock signify?" directly invites the viewer to think about time, about what each ticking second means, about where attention goes when the world is always in motion. In the context of a hair care campaign, it becomes a meditation on daily ritual, the small, intentional moments in a routine that accumulate into something meaningful over time. And Jimin, standing perfectly still between those swinging pendulums, is the counterbalance. The calm at the center, the presence that makes you stop and pay attention. It is genuinely stunning creative direction, and it reflects the level of artistic investment that both Jimin and LADOR have brought to this entire collaboration from day one. LADOR's track record on all of Young also speaks for itself. The brand has maintained consistent placement among top-rated hair care products on the platform, with their salon-quality formulations earning strong reviews across their full perfume hair line, including the La Pitta, Hinoki, Osmanthus, and now Angel Muget variants. The partnership with Jimin has brought an entirely new audience to those products, many of whom are discovering K-beauty hair care for the first time through this collaboration. And once they try it, they stay. That is the compounding effect of a collaboration done right. It doesn't just spike sales for a moment. It builds a customer base that returns. And with the Angel Muget line now having a full shampoo to treatment routine, that retention becomes even more powerful. Brand reputation data published in June 2026 confirmed what everyone already knew, but now had the numbers to prove. Jimin ranked number 1 in the June 2026 boy group individual brand reputation index published by the Korea Corporate Reputation Research Institute. His brand reputation index was 5,596,023. First place ahead of Jungkook in second and ParkJimin in third. The analysis showed high scores for keywords including happy, special, and joyful, with ARMY, Busan concert, and homecoming among the most analyzed terms. His positive to negative sentiment ratio stood at 94.55% positive. That is the environment in which LADOR is releasing today's full campaign video and product expansion. A man at the peak of his cultural influence, with a fan base that is globally active, emotionally invested, and commercially engaged, dropping a complete beauty line with their full support behind it. The conditions are extraordinary. The result will be extraordinary. So here's what you need to do right now. Go to Olive Young, both the Korean site and the global site, and look for the Angel Mugit perfume hair shampoo and treatment in their pre-launch section. If you want the full Angel Mugit experience, you'll want the oil alongside them. Check LADOR's official Instagram at LADOR_KR and their global account for the full campaign video that dropped today. Watch it, share it, and let the algorithm know that this content matters. And if you are in South Korea or ordering internationally, watch the stock. The February launch history tells us clearly what happens when Jimin's campaign content and a new product launch happen at the same time. Things move fast. Act accordingly, because this is what Jimin X LADOR has become. Not a seasonal campaign, not a limited collaboration, not a one-time endorsement. It is a partnership that is growing with intention, expanding with purpose, and delivering at a level that the beauty industry does not see very often. From a foggy silhouette in December to a full product line in June, in less than 7 months, Jimin has become the defining face of one of Korea's most respected haircare brands, and today's release of the Angel Mugit perfume hair treatment campaign video and the shampoo and treatment expansion is the clearest proof yet that this is only getting bigger. If this video gave you new insight into Jimin's impact and this collaboration, please leave a like. It genuinely helps this channel reach more ARMY who deserve to see content like this. Drop a comment below and tell us, which Angel Mugit product are you most excited to try? The oil, the new shampoo, or the treatment? We read every single comment in this community. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button right now. We cover every major Jimin moment with the depth and accuracy that this fandom deserves. Thank you for being here, and we will see you in the next one.